Deleting Virus here with the Ghost of Ragnarok, and I'm going to be doing a comprehensive tutorial and strategy guide to Wurm Online. Now, I have readjusted my settings a little bit. They're going to be different. Underneath the Games tab, I have gone and checkmarked body in inventory and display the old toolbar. There is certain reasons behind that, and you'll see that a little bit later on. And I have also readjusted my text so this way people with lower graphics, well, watching the video in lower quality settings will be able to see what's written within the events window. So let's go ahead and get started on this. Alright, once you log in, you're going to have these kinds of menus pop up. Now, this one I wouldn't really worry about, its personal goals. Now, I highly recommend for those that are going through the tutorial for the first time to go ahead and read these basic movement stuff and all these missions progresses that we'll go through. I'm not going to really go over them. I'm just going to get you through the tutorial. It's up to you if you really want to go ahead and do that. These are the chat window here. You'll have various tabs here that will pop up for when communication is done. Right now you're just seeing local, and this is for global freedom, which is the server cluster that we're currently on. Right here you're going to have your events tab. If you have friends and all that stuff, you'll be able to see them here, and support, and there'll be other tabs that will show up here. Now this right here is going to be your old quick menu select, with this one being the new style here. Let's go ahead and get started. Generally you're just going to go ahead and follow the path through all of this. There will be a few key events that's going to trigger. This one talking about the various effects of different heights and climbing up and down. You'll get another one here that tells you about the various effects of different tiles on your movement speed. And then you're going to get one that's going to affect your climbing. You're going to have to go ahead and hit this climbing button here, or you exit out, and you can hit this one right here. You'll initiate your climbing stance. Go ahead and walk right up. Once you're done through that, go ahead and turn it off so that way you can get back to moving. Tell you a couple things about your inventory. Now once you enter the first building, you're going to have to go ahead and right click and examine a few things. Go ahead and like hit what's this. There you go. Then you're going to walk out here, and you'll go ahead and pull a compass out of this. You can go ahead, whoops, hit the wrong one. F3 will bring up your inventory, or you can just hit the inventory at the top. I rather just pull it straight in. It'll give you some tutorial stuff on the compass, but the compass is really not really needed info for getting through. Yes, it'll get on you about drinking water. As you can see, it's quite simple. You right click to do stuff, use your mouse to look around, or you can use your Q and E to at least look left and right. And this is handy. First 24 hours, free refreshments within the game for each new character. All you gotta do is run up to him, ask for refreshments, he'll fill up your food and water bar for you, but only 24 hours, so use them as often as you can early on, because you're only going to get one chance to use them unless you start making new characters. This gives you some quick information about the various darkness effect and all that, and digging and mining, which will be a big part. You will go ahead and fall down that little channel thing. Don't be afraid to just jump.
Hello, how are you?
As you can see, it's very time intensive to read. When you're going to activate stuff for this next part, what you're going to have to do is open your inventory. Double clicking on stuff will go ahead and make it the active item. Right now I just started mining. In order to mine, all you have to do is right click, go to the mining menu and hit mine. Doesn't matter which direction you do. Now it's just telling me to go ahead and mine one more time and it'll do a teleport. So this other one, prospecting, it sort of tells you more about the rock that you're dealing with, and I'll cover that once we get through the tutorial on gathering resources and stuff like that. As you can see, we got a little timer down here. See our stamina drain. Okay. The main reason why I'm speeding through this tutorial is it does have a lot of good information for those who want to sit there and read, but I'm not going to sit there and read all the tutorial, well, what it says. It's more fun to go ahead and get out there and do the nitty-gritty hands-on. A little bit of lag there. Terraforming. This is a long and hard process. Here it's just going to tell you to go ahead and examine a tile border. So this is a full tile right here, and this is a tile border, little elongated thing. So all you got to do is hit an exam and sort of tells you, oh, it's this so many points steep. Okay, and here's the fun one where you can get a little bit screwed up. Now, this doesn't cover so much on PvP, but it does cover healing, and this is where I'm going to actually go into detail. They're going to give you cotton. You're going to run over here. Okay, I'm hurt. Now, there's two ways to deal with this. You can go ahead and hit escape, or... Okay, for some reason my menu is not working. So, I'll be back here in a sec. Okay, I'm back. There was a bug. This game still has a few bugs in it. What happens when you end up teleporting the tutorial, it's going to lock up this thing. Well, let's say constantly mining, you won't be able to open any menus. So if you accidentally close your inventory, it might be hard to get it open. You'll have to go ahead and restart. Anyway, continue on. Now, you're going to end up injured. You're going to see, oh, your body took some damage. And they are nice enough to give you some cotton. So, there's two ways of dealing with this. First way, if you don't have the old put the body in the inventory situation, so go ahead and hit escape, go to your character. I can't remember the hotkeys off the top of my head. Now it's going to tell you, oh, you got injury right here on your left hand. It's going to be sort of highlighted. Depending on the injury you end up receiving, you'll end up on various parts of the body. Now, you can go ahead and activate the cotton, right click, and you can go ahead and do first aid that way. Or the other method, if you have the old system, which is the body inventory, and this works out a lot better for if you got to do triage with multiple wounds and you got limited cotton, so you're able to right click on individual injuries and do first aid on those. This comes in handy quite often, especially when you first start out and get in fight with monsters. You're going to have several injuries and you're going to have limited healing supplies because you're going to have to go ahead and make everything from scratch. Okay, now that we've done that, we're going to go ahead and walk through this gate and finish up to the tutorial. Now here comes the upcoming part. Considering what server you want to go to. Now you have two choices. You have the PvP Epic Cluster, which this strategy guide will go ahead and cover, or you can go with the PvE area, which is Freedom Isles, which is a very large server cluster, multiple islands that you can be on. There is a small PvP island you can mess around on. Well, actually it's fairly large, last time I checked, where you're able to go around and fight players and do that stuff, and you're able to connect with the Freedom Isles, but there is limitations to it. I will not really go into that. I'm going to go ahead and cover the epic, but I'll go ahead and point out how do you get access to freedom and all that stuff. Okay, now I have a choice. You can go ahead and do Freedom Miles. It'll be to your left, right over here. And you just go ahead and activate by rocking over there and right-clicking on that. But we're going to go ahead and go over here to the huge Epic Gate portal. This is where I usually do most of my gaming. Now, some quick information on this one. Okay, right-click we use. Now, elevation. You have to be a premium player in order to play on elevation. You can go ahead and start off there. Surprisingly, I've never done that because I don't premium up right off the bat. Now, there's two different major factions. You have the White Lighters and the Black Lighters. If you go to Affliction, you'll be considered a Black Lighter and you'll become part of the Horde of the Summon. Now, this is actually a very small island compared to the other three right here. And it's got a lot of monsters. I would consider this right here being hard mode for any new players. And I don't recommend it unless you want to go ahead and go through the hard method of learning the game. I will cover a different part in this strategy guide on how to be a HOTS player and the benefits of being a HOTS player. There is a lot of benefits for doing this, but you're only going to really find any use for it when you further play the game. Now, the other two servers here are White Lighters, and these are opposing kingdoms. They can go ahead and attack each other by going through elevation, which you need to be a premium player. So you might end up with the JK, or Jin Kalan people coming over and attacking you if you're the Mulrohan people. So, but anyway, we're going to go ahead and take this to desertion for the strategy guide, and I will cover the first steps that you want to learn in the PvP world in the next video.